welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show, episode 217. You guys can ask questions by sending them in like directly, like a DM. We also do the YouTube, and you can ask questions there. However, we like to prioritize y'all that show up. And so if you do have a question, could we have age and breed of your dog? This is Bunny. She is so slinky and loves to just be, she's like a sloth. Basically, you pick her up and she's like...
It's kind of crazy. Her face kind of has the sloth-like look, too.
Yep, she's just like...
Like, just even the hair, how like a face... Yeah, it's like, cool.
We're chilling. Yo, 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 we're chilling. Isn't she cute?
Oh, say yo, yo, yo.
Yeah, it's a cool thing from the 90s. I don't know. All right. It's a cool thing. The word cool, too. Cool, yo, yo, yo. It's like from Ice Ice Baby. Like, you don't know. You don't know things. Yeah. You don't know. You're too young. Mm-hmm. You're too young. You people, you know. You know. All right, anyway. So, let's get to our questions. Do you want to go first?
I can't tell yet. That was me holding back the floodgates of my, like, cawing laugh.
Which I appreciate, because we're trying not to be too loud because Bunny is a little sensitive.
So that was the one thing Bethany asked. No cacophonous laughs.
So we want to make sure she has a good time here, because sometimes Sparky scares the bejesus out of the puppies. Okay.
My normal talking voice? I'm so soft-spoken. Yeah.
All right. Isa says, when should we stop covering the crate, if ever? You just test it out and see if your dog can handle it. Simple as that.
Some dogs prefer the darkness. If you think about the wild,
like
they're in a den. They're going in like a little like burrow.
That's my German Shepherd. Mm-hmm. Even though my German Shepherd isn't even crated anymore, every chance she gets, she tries to go into our other dog's crate, and the darker the better. She loves it.
That's what her kitty does. Except not a crate, she just burrows into the blanket as deep as she can.
Majestic Tater. How long can moist food sit? So I have to replace it every 2 hours?
We're not the people to ask, because we don't do free feeding. We give food for 5 minutes. It's taken up after. Or we train for food.
It's like 10 to 15, or we train for food. I will say, if I'm going, don't quote me on this, Majestic Tater, but because it's been a while since I've taken a food safe course. But if I go off of human food, it's an hour, right?
If it's...
It's an hour
wet
minimum.
Food, like actual like canned food, you can stay up for like 2-3 hours.
Oh, canned food is different.
It's 90% preservatives.
But if you're adding like water to other food and it's all wet and like people do rice and things like that, anything like rice and chicken, I believe, is an hour max. It could just be when it cools down. So double check that. I'm not.
I found out rice actually carries a ton of bacteria. When it goes bad, it can be extremely harmful.
Allegedly. So everybody says allegedly when they don't want to get in trouble. So allegedly less than an hour.
I'm thinking for humans personally.
Yeah, me too.
I know humans can get sick from it.
So it's the same protocol for dogs. All right. Go. I mean, seriously, Majestic, go chat GPT that question. Seriously. All right. And Haley says, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. All right, cool.
Okay.
Oh, I have a couple questions.
I'm just curious, who picks out the thumbnails for these videos? Like, of all the photos we could have picked, why that one? Why that one, guys?
Because it sparks interest.
You know what? That is my interest face.
All right, I'm going to get to your questions on Instagram. We're just going to do this one first.
From Megan Renee. How do I stop my puppy from peeing in his crate in the morning? I have a 13-week-old Frenchie, and he goes to bed at 11. I wake him up at 3 and 6:30 to go potty and plan to go again between 8:30 and 9. However, he's already awake by then, and he's peed in his crate. What am I doing wrong? I stop his water intake around 9 p.m. That's
3 hours. 3 hours.
3 hours before bed. So you're going to bed at 11. You're probably stopping around 8, but you're also giving your final potty at 10:59, right before you go to sleep. So when you're going down for the night, that's your final potty. You're doing a 3 a.m. and a 6:30, and you're still getting another potty between 8:30 to 9.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Frenchies can be, they act like babies. Like they whine and cry and make pterodactyl sounds, and they can get pretty stressed.
They're also extremely gluttonous with their drinking
and
water.
They can hype themselves up and get themselves worked up.
So those 7:30, 8 p.m. zoomies where he like zooms, runs over his bowl, drinks the whole thing, runs around. You give him a little bit more, he drinks that too, and then you do one final potty.
Yeah.
You got a 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. potty coming to you. So probably cut the water 8 p.m., but also limit how much you're giving. It's a half cup of water for every 30 pounds of body weight every 2 to 3 hours. That's not like the standard, that's just like what most people would do.
Yeah. I would just make sure you're doing 3 hours before bed for water and don't do anything that's going to make them like heavily pant. The other thing that we do for all dogs, but especially this breed, is if they do play and they get kind of worked up, wait 15 minutes before you give them water. That's like a health thing, and then especially for this breed, the way their mouth and their palate is, and it's all just a mess. They're more likely to throw up water as they get older, things like that. So just wait. So that might also lessen the amount that he's drinking. Other than that, 13 weeks does seem a little old to still be needing that many potties at night. So yeah, get the water thing figured out and then start cutting back on how often you're taking him out at night, or start, doing a bigger window of time. But yeah, you got to get that water thing figured out. They are still small dogs, and so you might just have one of those. But yeah, hopefully those tips help, and be sure to comment back and DM us back and let us know.
Ice cubes help too. If you give him his little bowl of water, he drinks all of it. 10 minutes later, you check he's still really thirsty. You give him an ice cube. They chase it around for a little bit of time. Little bit of water, but it's not very much. Most of the time, it's just they need to be entertained. They're like looking for something to do once they're back in the crate and they can't settle on their own.
Yeah. Okay, Lisa says, I have a 1-year-old mini Aussie. I love Aussies. I can't get her to stop nipping my grandkids. I've tried everything. All right, Lisa. I'm not trying to be mean, but you haven't tried everything. I can tell you that. There are so many different types of training. There are so many different types of approaches and training tools that could benefit you greatly that you probably haven't tried yet. I will say this, a 1-year-old mini Aussie is an adolescent dog, and it's kind of getting out of puppyhood. Once we start to see 14, 15, 16 months old, we start to see them, mature more. Here's the thing. You have a dog that's bred to chase and nip. Grandkids that are under 7, 8, they are not going to be great at, don't run around the house. Like you say that 5 times to them when they come over, right? Don't run around the house. That's going to be really hard for your dog to understand why they can't participate in the chase. I'm assuming it's not malicious. I'm assuming it's just herding dog nipping or trying to control the energy. It's not like aggression. I'm assuming that, just FYI, when I say that. With all that being said, you can have her on a leash. You can have her on a training tool that you've been working on. A gentle leader or a power loop might be really great for that. And so when the kids are running around, you have to be, instead of being with your grandkids, you have to be actively working with your dog. So if the grandkids are just hanging out, let's do that scenario first. Grandkids are just hanging out. Your dog can be taught place duration. And we use blocking when we teach place duration. It's a balanced way of teaching through body language, leash, and food when they're young. Your dog may not need food anymore. You should be weaning off of it if you are using food. But place duration, and then once that's really good, back tie, to where if the kids do kind of run around, you don't have to worry about it so much if your dog pops up. You just go no and move in and reset them in place because they're back tied, right? They're on a certain line. If the nipping's really bad, I have absolutely created another line on the ground where that back tie goes and told all the children, do not cross that line. You run around, you can do whatever you normally do, but you need to stay on the other side of that long, just get a 15-foot long lead or something off of Amazon and put that on the ground of where your back tie ends, or you can even curve it around, and the kids stay on the other side. So that way you can work with your dog, still be with your grandkids, still work with your dog. So that's one way of doing it. The other way is if the grandkids are moving around, same if you had kids, anytime that puppy is out, they are being worked with. I would definitely consider, herding dogs are kind of a pain on gentle leader, but you do some research and decide like what you want to try to do, and you are redirecting every time there's fixation. And by fixation, like, see, this dog, soft, like no big deal. But if someone walks by with a dog, she's going to perk up. and she's going to stare at that dog. Actually, I don't know if Bunny does that.
I don't think she will. I didn't even know you had her still.
Normal dogs. Normal. Sorry, Bunny.
She's awake.
I know, sorry. Normal dogs, no offense, Bunny, will do that hyper focus, like the ears are forward, and you immediately redirect. Let's go. And then if she will focus on you, food, turn, go towards the grandkids playing again, turn. So you're working off of the distraction. You cannot have a 1-year-old herding dog loose with grandchildren running around. My border collie is off-leash trained, and every now and then, and it's because I think that my niece has stepped on him a few times and it gets him more worked up, she'll run and he will chase, and if I can watch him and I can go out and he will out immediately. But if I'm not watching him, my back is turned and they've been doing chase 3, 4, 5 laps around the house or the yard, he'll eventually make contact with her ankle. He's 12 years old, 12-year-old border collie. So you have to have some understanding for the breed and how the kids are acting versus the breed. So I just want to kind of keep that, I just want you to keep that in mind, and hopefully I've given you some ideas. Is that something you want to get into? You have anything to add? Leash, I mean, you just got to have a leash.
Everyone knows I'm going to say, you need to have good structure in your house. You need to have a good crate schedule. It's not because it's going to magically fix your dog, but it gives your dog more channels for the energy to go into. It allows them to actually like relax and fully settle. After 30, 40 minutes of training, the dog can't settle, and it's not going to be able to for the first 10 times the kids are there.
Yeah.
But you can put them in the crate for an hour or two to let her chill out in there and bring her out one more time to train her.
Yeah.
It just gives you the freedom to give her downtime. That's not a negative association. It becomes very positive and very balanced to her.
And that way you can spend time with your grandkids too without having to worry about the dog, you know.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I forgot about
that.
that.
To the kids.
Yeah, I meant to mention that too, and I forgot. Yeah. But and then there's also a huge teaching opportunity for the grandkids as well. That's how I look at it. I think it's a great opportunity. But then it's like you're teaching for 2 or 3 hours while they're over. You don't want to be doing that the whole time and constantly repeating yourself. I have a 2-year-old, and I'm like gentle. It gets exhausting.
Does it work?
That's a conversation for another time.
Okay.
It does work, but it's a conversation for another time. But anyway, it's like that crate is really useful for that. Okay.
No, I got a tough one. Let me do mine.
Oh, Sparking Adventure says, missing you guys. We miss you so much. Give Spark a snuggle for us, please. Well, not for him. He doesn't snuggle. I snuggle. Give him a snuggle for me.
He would kind of... Okay, he wouldn't snuggle with me. He would snuggle with you, though. He didn't like me like that.
Totally snuggle with me.
He was my boy. He was my training boy. Okay, from Letta. Okay. This is going to be a tough one.
Oh my gosh. And don't worry, I'm going to get back to you guys. Don't worry.
The age is important here, guys. I just got a 6-week-old puppy. I don't see a breed. Mom wasn't feeding anymore. That's probably why she got the puppy so young. I've never had a pup this young. Any advice for crating her? She spent all night screaming. I take her out to potty in the night. That one's tough. I almost feel like you should take this one. This is more your angle anyways.
This is so hard.
Yeah. She does more of like the board and train, so she's the one dealing with this with you guys.
Yeah, I would love to do a Zoom with you and really dive into this. If you're interested in that, please just contact
You should take her up on
Puppy
that.
Academy.
You won't find a better deal.
But I will say that I would do everything in my power not to sleep with this dog. I would, because I have in the past, potentially put the crate on the bed.
I'd recommend that a couple times.
Yeah,
too.
if there's
helps.
room, and like lay staring at the puppy and go to sleep and see if that helps. You got to understand, there's like, well, I don't want to get into the newborn stuff. That's too much of a can of worms. Here, I'll say this. It is very unnatural for the dog right now to not be sleeping surrounded by his siblings, you know? And so we have to, and it's even harder at 8 weeks, but puppies develop rapidly. Like 8 to 10 weeks, they are so much more like able to handle the cortisol and all of that from the stress than they are at 6 weeks. There really is a huge difference between 6 and 8 and 6 and 10. A lot of breeders do 9 and 10 weeks for that reason. With that being said, it doesn't matter because your situation is what it is. I would be making sure the room is very warm or the dog is very warm in some way, shape, or form. You don't have to go crazy and get a heat lamp or something. It's not that serious, but you do want to make sure the dog feels warm. And so I would have, typically we're like, no bedding I would have bedding that I didn't care about, like probably a couple layers of old towels, and then a legit nice soft old blanket or bed that, again, I don't care about because it's at 6 weeks it's going to get peed on and stuff, which is not good either. That's like a bad habit you're gonna have to deal with, moving forward. But maybe you'll get lucky. But I would be doing that, and I would make the dog feel very comfortable. This is gonna sound ridiculous. Some of you are gonna roll your eyes at this, and I totally get that. But you can go on Amazon.
Yep.
And you can get this stuffed puppy.
It's not ridiculous. It's extremely effective.
That comes with a heartbeat little thing, like a battery heartbeat that you tuck inside of it. They got stuff like this for kids too. Not that I suggest that. I'm just like, it's crazy, what they have available. And they have like a little heating pack that are disposable, which is not great either, but it is what it is. We're in survival mode with this puppy, and so we're gonna do what we need to do. And you can put this little heating pack in there. Obviously, you got to make sure your puppy is not a hardcore chewer at 6 weeks old. I have seen some breeds of puppy be, thanks to Instagram, be insane chewers at 6 weeks old, ripping apart stuff, attacking other siblings for food. So let's assume that that's not your situation. You can only do this with puppies that are not chewing, ripping, and potentially ingesting things. So let's assume that that's not your puppy. You should be doing all of these things to make them feel warm, safe, and secure. You could lay on the floor next to the crate and wait till they go to sleep and move to the bed, or you can just plop them up in the bed there with you. I would actually do the floor thing first before I got into the bed personally, and I have done that before with really tough situations. That would be my advice to start with, and then of course, hardcore deep dive into separation anxiety. Read all the articles, read all the things about separation anxiety genetically with puppies, read all the things about raising a puppy too young, because you're gonna have to be all things. If you've ever seen any videos of mamas with their puppies, they're often quite harsh. Like, no, you cannot drink right now. Snap, growl, move in, stare at. I don't want you to be a dog, but I'm just saying that hey, there are trainers that have,
it's called dominance training.
There are trainers that even in South Bay here, we've come across, and I get people growling at their dogs. So I gotta say that.
So true.
I gotta say
You're not wrong.
So anyway, you need to have a level of firmness to you, and that will build security in the puppy as well, like a feeling of safety. Do not just be what I'm doing here with Bunny and be sharing tons of softness. And even if you're doing training and stuff, do not be this constant place of comfort when your puppy is out of the crate. It's very important that you're already practicing blocking. And like, you're too close to me, like I need some distance. Like, it's a deep dive. I strongly suggest that you consider doing a program with a trainer, hands-on in your home, or at least start with an online program. We happen to have an online program, if you'd like to look into that, thepuppyacademy.com.
You get an extra free 1 hour live every Wednesday that you can come for the whole time.
Well,
ask
it's
as many
included.
questions as you want.
Free is an interesting way to pitch it. It's just included.
I don't know why I said free.
It's like free.
I feel like when people hear free, it just makes people happy. It made me happy to say it.
Oh my lord.
It wasn't true, but it made me happy.
I am the person here to keep everybody grounded. So that would be what I would start with.
Heating blankets also work too if you don't have the little doggy yet. You can put a heating blanket under all your other blankets. It can't be the top blanket because if you don't want to be the first thing chewed.
No. And you can even heat everything up and then remove it
when
smart. You put the puppy there. Yeah. Something we do for kids too. Okay, cool. Well, I want to make sure we get back to our Instagram.
One more thing.
Questions.
Wet wipes are your best friend. If your puppy's having accidents throughout the night, which he will, that's also partially one of the things the mom dog does. When the puppies have accidents, the mama dog will lick it off. You just take a wet wipe, clean their belly in their private area just so they're not sitting and soaking in pee. Yeah. It's easy to pull the puppy out, wipe them down, pull all your blankets out, hit it with the little Clean Smart, throw in new blankets so you can just go back to bed in 3 minutes versus a 25-minute cleanup with the bath. That's my biggest advice to you.
That's good. Okay, Sparky.
It's a very fun name, I'll give you that much.
Spark His name really is Sparky.
We had a dog name trained that was Spark.
In case you didn't know. Okay, Sparking Adventures says, we haven't had time to join in a while, but we'll probably reach out and see how social club is. Woohoo!
It'll be good for him.
Then I get to see him again. Okay. All right. Elva. I'm like in Halloween mind, and
Beagle.
I'm like Elvira? No, Elva, sorry. Says, I have a 1-year-old Beagle. She literally chews everything when we leave her home alone to go to work or just step away from the home. She's not completely alone. She's with my other Beagle. It's funny that you say that because my husband growls at our Beagles, so they now see him as the alpha. Well, I'll tell you, tell him that he needs to do one of two things, and I want to know if it works. You can come back and let me know. He needs to growl more over like items in the house that belong to him. And so maybe when you leave, your dogs will respect your household. And 2, you could get a camera. He could growl through the camera when he sees them acting up. That might work.
I'm glad I mouthed it this time.
The camera thing, it might work actually.
The camera thing might work if he does the growl, but he's going to be sitting at his office job through a camera every 30 seconds. Sorry, Bun. That was the one promise I made. Look at the paw. Yeah, she says, don't worry, we're cool.
She woke her up. Cool. But the thing is, he would go to the bathroom to do it. He wouldn't do it at his, like where he's working.
Don't tell that man where to growl. You growl where you need to growl.
Sorry, I'm woman-splaining. Okay, so here's the thing. Again, it's just like dominance stuff, and it just doesn't carry over. What works for him won't work for anybody else. There's no carryover.
That one's tough, though, because if she's already gotten used to chewing, it could be a habit, and you're probably not going to be able to stop her short of doing like a playpen with a crate setup attachment and having like a potty pad in there, a little bowl of water. Like, you're going to need some things, but she's going to chew the potty pads and everything else in there that's fabric or cloth. My recommendation, get a big rubber mat. You can get them on Amazon. They're like $30. Mm-hmm. Put a playpen over it, and that's probably going to be your setup for the next couple months.
I agree. Her name is Elvira. Oh, cool.
Let me see.
That's so cool. Her name is Elvira. Because it said Elva, and I was thinking Elvira.
You just guessed? That was a good guess.
It's such a cool name.
It was a good guess.
Super cool. And your photo is gorgeous. Okay, anyway. They have a Furbo. They tell her to leave it. She usually listens, like in person, but through the Furbo, she doesn't listen. Try the growling, yeah. No, here's the thing. There are very few 1-year-old dogs that I know that can be left out in the house or in a room. There's nothing wrong with your dog. I mean, yeah, you probably need more structure. You probably need more discipline. It's a Beagle. Do you have a woods behind your house that you can go, let him be a Beagle? Probably not. A lot of people don't.
Sniff for 20, 30 minutes and really just get out there and be a dog. That's
I was more like a couple hours for a Beagle. But my point is just that there are probably lots of things you can and should be doing to help with this issue. You're subtly chewing my cord, you little slinky stinker. Stinker. No, she didn't do anything. She had just started. You just act like you're so perfect. Yeah.
That's stress. Yeah.
So what I would say is that, yeah, you guys should be looking at some other things to do, but it's still a 1-year-old Beagle that's probably going to chew stuff up, even if you do go spend 2 hours in the woods behind your house, because it's a 1-year-old adolescent dog.
Think of your dog as an atom. And when there's nothing happening to that atom, there's no mental stimulation, physical stimulation, there's no routine. It explodes and you have your atom bomb. Yeah. All the things you do with your dog are the channels that the energy goes into. Come, sit, down, stay, drop it, heel, leave it, fetch, place duration, place pattern. All the different things you do make it so your puppy isn't exploding all the time. They're actually learning to settle. It's like their energy gets incorporated in tasks that you give them. That's what training's for. It gives them a routine. Yep. And don't listen. What is happening? You're so cute, stretching. She is cute. Don't listen to, Instagram where they're like, oh, and some trainers too. A lot of trainers have jumped on this bandwagon and it makes me so angry where they're like, oh, your dog like chewing up your house is under exercised and you're not giving it enough enrichment, as if 3 hours a day and tons of enrichment is going to magically make them not chew. It's obedience. It's not true. It's not true. Your dog probably does need that. The trainers are probably right when they say that. But there's more. But that does not
tie directly to chewing up the couch cushions. Oh, she's done. Oh, she's
Is she?
Yeah.
She lasted pretty
she
good.
She just
though.
let
She
me
went
know
29
she's
minutes.
done. Will you go ahead and take her, Ricky? So please don't feel bad and fall into that trap and go buy some silly, puzzles that are going to magically make it better. Even your Furbo, just spit out treats at your dog and they'll be satisfied during the day. It's all marketing. I'm so mad that trainers have jumped on this trend. It was a while back. Even the ones.
Well, enrichment's good. It just gets
but they
overused and abused.
Yeah, they would tie it to this is why your dog, is messing up your household.
There's probably that and about 400 other reasons why.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of training and understanding that goes into it.
And genetics and discipline that you share with your dog is most of it. Honestly, the discipline you share with your dog when you're home factors into how your dog is when they leave. And none of it matters under a year and a half old. None of it matters. As far as the exercise and the enrichment in relation to chewing, because it's a puppy. It is an adolescent dog. It has still got that, 13, 14, 15-year-old brain if you want to attribute it to humans. Anyway, sorry.
I mean,
about
at a year old too, they're still in their last stage of development.
Yes.
Like adolescence.
Yes.
They're developing their real life adult dog personality over the next 6 months to a year.
Yes. So it is all about management and crate or a safe playpen. It is not just about puppy proofing. I baby proofed my living room, but I still can't leave my 2-year-old in there alone. There are still too many things that she would manage to figure out and break a neck. You know what I mean? And so I don't crate her, but we have cribs. We stick her in a crib. She just started crawling out, of course. But anyway.
I got one more question I want to go through.
So.
This is from Deanne. We have a camera for a puppy, but she cries when we leave. We don't talk through it. We're trying to not jump.
Whoa, where'd it go?
Crud.
What did you do?
Went far away. We're trying to not jump when we walk in the door. We are ignoring her till. Okay, I think this is 2 questions.
And she's got more that just came through.
Okay, I'm just going to read it one more time. We have a camera for our puppy, but she cries when we leave. We don't talk through it.
Okay.
Let's answer that one really quick.
Well, yeah, don't talk through it unless you've trained a valuable no or settle or go to crate or because I do
But
do that.
don't let that dang Furbo camera shoot a treat at her right after you tell her no, because that's what happens with those stupid Furbo things. I was at a client's house and her dog did something bad. It barked. It threw a damn treat at it. They threw a treat at this dog for barking.
To distract it, yeah.
It did not interrupt. The dog started barking louder and more. Okay.
Because it rewarded.
Another time.
Anyway,
Dang Furbo.
moving on.
All right. Also, to not jump when we walk in the door, we are ignoring her till she stops and then giving her a treat. Nope, you're still rewarding the jumping.
Yeah.
You want to have a leash on your dog. They shouldn't be free roaming if you guys aren't home yet. They should be confined to a playpen, to a crate, some kind of safe setup for them. And then when you get home, you let them out of the crate and you work the energy down from there. If someone's already there and you're arriving to the home, that dog's on a leash and that person actually has to move them away from you in order to calm the energy down and help train them to have a more neutral energy for people coming in. They're probably not saying hi to you for about 15 to 20 minutes after you get there until the dog can actually be neutral. Even if they stop jumping and we give that treat, they're probably not settled. They're probably still wiggly, moving, and overexcited. So yeah, I think you need an obedience program. I think you have a couple things that you're looking at. Me just giving advice on a routine isn't going to work. You probably need
a more comprehensive approach to a few different things. I would say real quick, especially if you're doing the more positive reinforcement route for the jumping, the way you want to practice that is not when the dog is so heightened when you first come in the door. That it's not going to work. Ignoring it will actually potentially make it worse as you go over the weeks and months.
Mini golden doodle will definitely get more pushy.
Yeah, I see it all the time, and then by the time the dog is 1 year old, it's scream, barking excitedly when you come home. And so
or pee. That's what I see 90% of the time.
With the doodles.
Full unleashed bladder after 5 seconds.
When you are home though, you can sit down, have your treats, ignore your puppy when they jump up or stand up if they're able to get on the couch. Just ignore. When they offer you the sit, good piece of food, and then ignore again. They jump up, you ignore, they will eventually figure it out usually and back up and sit, and you can reward that. Do that in training sessions through the day when it's not at its height. of when you come in the door. When you come in the door, my dog jumps on me, you touch me, I touch you, I'm going to bump you off. I'm just going to take my knee. It's not a knee to the throat.
You're not going to Muay Thai the dog?
No, there's no Muay Thai.
It's just a bump and a step.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just a bump in.
You are claiming the space that they're trying to claim from you.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing to you.
And then I just wait for my dog to settle. I take 2 steps, see if they jump up again. They don't. Sit. I probably still wouldn't use food yet because their brain is still... I might say good, I might not, and then I take a couple more steps. They don't jump up on me. They don't jump up on my back, my butt, or something like that, because I would turn and move in, freeze, wait for the dog to settle, 2 steps. Once the dog comes down a little bit, I can do my jumping exercise with food, but I would never do that first thing in the door. I just wouldn't. It's gonna, timing, people, you got training tools, and food is a training tool, and you can screw a dog up with food the same way you can any other training tool. And so the timing is so specific on where you need to be when you reward for something like this. I just wouldn't do it when I come in the door. I would wait till the brain, it's not about obedience. That's a Band-Aid. It's about the brain. Where's the brain at? Is the brain actually in a more settled follower mode, more relaxed, calm follower mode? Or is it like, oh, if I sit, she's going to pet me, yay! And then I'm just going to take off and grab a treat or because a redirect or grab a toy, and then I'm going to jump on them again when they come in tomorrow. Because that becomes the cycle.
It becomes the routine.
Yeah.
You're teaching a routine.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
There's one more part.
No, we gotta go.
I want to finish the last part of her question because it's going to make me tell you to do our online school. Anytime we stick her in a playpen, because remember my advice was put her in a playpen, she pees, not always, but a lot after we had her out. Can you see my messages? Yeah. Yes, I can see your messages. You need our online school, or you need a training program of some sort, because you need a full schedule. You're kind of right in the middle of doing a schedule, but not, and it's not working. It's probably backfiring pretty heavily and making your job harder. Yeah. You need to get her on a schedule. You need to ask us questions on how to implement that. Because you need some kind of trainer to help you. We recommend online school. Because it sounds like you're having a little bit of separation anxiety along with proximity anxiety, where you're actually in the same room. 5 months old, you probably have another month to get this worked out before it becomes full-blown separation anxiety that you... Okay. And he's saying that because that's 5-6 months old. They're getting deeper and deeper into adolescence. Real quick, Elvira, I got your text. Thank you so much, she says. That makes sense. Our Beagle is well-behaved and trained and blah, blah, and still having these issues. So I'm so glad you joined us today, Elvira. Everybody have a good day, and we'll see you later. Bye.